All right, so welcome back here to the Winter Fancy Food Show. We are continuing our coverage, and of course, we continue to see kind of innovations happening. And what's kind of intriguing to me is the amount of ideas that are coming around food waste. And today I've got Samuel Devyver
Yes.
with Mealbox. Great to have you.
Yeah, good to be here.
All right, so Mealbox, great name.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that. That was were you able to get that URL?
It's mealboxapp.com.
Okay,
yes.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
good.
I do. We trademark it, so we have the we have the name, I guess.
Even better. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so Sam, let's talk a little about kind of the well, first of all, before we get into the vision of Mealbox, a little bit about your background. How were you kind of integrated into the food business? What drew you here?
I'm a European web entrepreneur, so I created a few startups, and I always loved food. And actually, when I came to the US, I went to Las Vegas once, and I went to a buffet-style restaurant. I think it was the Paris Hotel. And I remember, I went just half an hour before closing time, and they were throwing away tons of foods, literally entire pigs and food. And I was really shocked by that. And actually, a few years ago, there was a food movement in Europe starting to happen around food waste. And I've been living in San Francisco for 3 years, and I didn't see anything happening here really in terms of really B2C, so really a restaurant being able to sell directly to consumers.
Right.
And that's really how I had this idea about importing this concept here in the US.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you French or
Belgium?
Belgium.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So in Europe, food waste is kind of a big thing over there. I mean, you really have a lot of controls over it from a business standpoint.
Right.
Kind of curious, as you started to build Mealbox's approach toward food waste in your app, what were some of the things that kind of you guys built into your business and your product that made you stand out and differentiate yourselves?
So first of all, on Mealbox, it's the restaurant that has a direct connection to the consumer. So as a consumer, I can download the app for free, and I can locate myself in any city. So we are starting in San Francisco, and the idea is I can pick up any place next to where I live, and I can pick up foods, so as takeouts. And so I can usually go 60 to 90 minutes before closing time, and I can pick up a meal box, which is actually a surprise box with anything that is left over from that day.
Okay.
So for example, if you have a poke place, I can go 1 hour before closing time, and I can create my own poke, but that food will be wasted 1 hour later. So the idea here is to rescue foods just before closing time.
Okay.
So that could be breakfast, it could be bakeries, could be lunchtime, salad bars, restaurants, of course, and so any type of restaurants that has to throw away food, they can sell it on the app.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So the for the value proposition is the restaurant selling that product.
Exactly. So they can make money.
So much lower price. Obviously,
exactly,
it's
yes.
a dispensary price. So, but for a consumer, it's a huge savings.
Exactly.
Obviously, it gets away from solving the problem with food waste.
Exactly.
Kind of curious in terms of your platform. Can you share how big your user base
So
is?
we're still in beta. So we literally launched 3 months ago.
Okay.
And now we have between 20 and 30 restaurants in San Francisco.
Okay.
So we're still testing and working with them to be able to make the product better.
Great.
And we really want to launch at the beginning of Q2 of this year. We're going to launch it. We want to go to San Francisco and then New York. I think New York is a foodie place.
Yep.
A lot of places are throwing food there. So of course, I think it's a national problem. So I really think we can solve it in any city. But we really want to be able to start,
I agree.
small and
I think obviously the dense locations just because of the frequency and also your user base.
Exactly.
So as you build this out, is this something that when you sign on a restaurant, do they get a Mealbox packaging product, or is it something that's kind of just it's in their own to-go packaging?
So they get stickers and they get marketing materials.
Okay.
But they can pack anything they want. And actually, we even encourage users to bring their own box if they want.
Oh, okay.
Because then you can save,
so
forever.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So you get that. You get a little bit of that packaging. How do people find out about Mealbox? What was it that's drawing interest for you? Is it just app-driven, like other apps, or is there something else that you guys are doing?
If you look at the App Store and you type even restaurant deals or local food restaurants, coupons, for example, there's not a lot of apps locally actually.
Right.
And so we really target those type of users that really want to get a good deal. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's mostly students, could be people working late, anyone that just want to be able to to save money, which
Yeah.
is actually anyone, I guess. But it's
Sure.
so we seen a lot of like organic traction at the beginning, and now we are trying to also like send like direct mails locally.
Do a lot more targeting.
Exactly,
marketing.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. You've got the app itself is kind of Uber for food waste.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you've got to go get the food.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing being the
Yeah.
consumer, picking up the food. What's been the feedback of the restaurants themselves? How do they like
It's a good
this
question.
whole process?
So we're actually surprised, but I think restaurants, especially in San Francisco, are very efficient.
Okay.
So actually, they don't prepare a lot of food in advance. So a lot of restaurants, especially new restaurant opening in downtown San Francisco, are usually like made to order.
Okay.
So really like the kind of Chipotle or Subway kind of chain restaurants where you kind of customize your own foods and your own bowls.
Right.
And so they don't already prepare food. So when we talk to them, they always tell us that they don't have a lot of waste at the end of the day, which is great. But we work with a lot of places like, for example, bakeries and food where like they have to prepare it in advance and they don't know what to do with it. And those are actually the best places because
Those are the best. Okay.
they don't know what to do at the end of the day. And actually grocery stores and supermarkets,
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Produce sections.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it could be like sandwich places, lunch place, salad bars. So everything which is kind of already prepared, like for example, raw fish, like sushi restaurants,
Yep.
it's very difficult to serve it the next day. It's actually even illegal in some case. So they have to throw it away. So they have no other choice than sell it. So we really have an alternative for them to make more money and to save the environment as well. Really, that's the idea. Is really reduce food waste.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
and making money, and so it's a win-win-win situation. It's
All
that's
right,
the
so
idea.
well, I like the model. I think the app concept. I had a chance to take a look at the app in the App Store.
Right,
It was
yeah.
a very interesting design. Love that.
Thank you.
And it's interesting. I'm curious to see how the restaurant industry will kind of connect to this because that could be a really good opportunity for them.
Yeah,
I would think.
I agree. We talked to like very big chains, like really like famous national chains, and they're really interested.
Okay.
I think that the thing is that the bigger the chain, the more hierarchy and the more difficult it is to find a decision maker. So
Yeah.
it takes more time.
Yeah.
But we really think that it could be applied to literally any type of food business.
Very
That's
cool.
really the idea.
So you've kind of got the model in place for Mealbox. Any future plans for you guys in terms of building out the model to work maybe in other aspects of business, or is it strictly kind of where you're going with this?
We want to be able to like get access directly to the food ordering parts of the business, because I think that if you can manage to reduce how the waste and how businesses waste foods, we could actually sell more as well and help them. So I think that connecting to like the supply parts of any business could definitely be helpful.
Yeah.
But right now we really want to start, like building cities per city and really starting, in San Francisco and then growing and then see how it goes in each city. I think each market is a bit different. I think also the type of food people eat is different. I think we started in San Francisco because San Francisco has a lot of great places to eat and a lot of different type of foods, and so we think it's a great place to start with. But we really are looking to, like you mentioned, density and people that can walk to the places. Like the further you have to drive, the less irrelevant it becomes. So we really are looking for dense places and.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you and
thank you very much. Thank you.
Mealbox. I hope you guys continue. I think critical mass will be the key once you guys hit that certain point, whether it's multi-markets or things of that nature, and a certain number of users.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely will be successful. Thanks for stopping in on
so much.
the
Thank you.
set today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to wrap up here and our continuing coverage right here on the Winter Fancy Food Show. Make sure and stay tuned right here for more hot coverage from all these great people, ideas, and things all about food. We'll catch you in a minute.